Good night, everyone. Good night. And God bless everyone. God bless everyone as always. I'm a little early tonight. Tonight's tonight's topic tonight I'm sorry. Tonight's topic is we must believe in God. I'm going to repeat it again. We must believe in God. To to be clear, to be clear, under our constitution, which is the constitution of our great nation, the United States of America, because we are all, um, what unites us is our U.S. citizenship. We are all U.S. citizens and we are protected by the Constitution. That means that anyone has the right to believe or not to believe in God. But that's here. That's here. That's here. That's here in our world. But in God's world, which is this world also. See, there are rules that man has made, and then there are the rules that God has made. The most important rules are the ones that God has made. We must respect, to be clear, because we gotta be clear in everything. We must be law-abiding citizens. That means that the people that don't choose to believe in God, we respect them. We respect them, and they have that choice under they have that choice under our U.S. Constitution. We have to be clear. See, one thing is man's law, and the other is God's law. But this is just my opinion. What I'm expressing is just my opinion. You have the right to agree or disagree with me. There's no problem with that. I have no problem with people disagreeing with me. But I have learned in my 67 years of age, there is only one true law, and that is the law of God. Okay, hold on. I have just entered the just entered the theater. My nephew, I will now go to the magic vault, and I will paste the magic link on the. I will paste the magic link in the chat, and the link that I'm pasting in the chat, it is only for my nephew. To be clear, with all respect to everyone, like I always say, everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. But it's by turn, and my nephew always has the first turn. And uh, my nephew Emery is the second owner of this channel. We both took out the loan, and we gave a down payment for this channel. So this channel, Emery is the second owner of this channel. To be clear, so I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now to the magic vault, and I'll be back. I'll be back in 1 minute and a half. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome, nephew.
how you doing, Uncle Edwin? I had to bring a Gatorade. It was a little hot in the vault.
Yeah, uh, nephew. As always, I give you a blessing in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and may our Holy Mother always guide you in the path of light and super blessings for my other nephew, Rocco. I hope. Uh, I hope Rocco. I'm sending the link for Rocco. So Rocco, if you feel better, just press the link with your paw, and I'll send the limo for Rocco. So Emery, uh,
Yeah.
before before I get into the topic I was talking about,
Can I
give us
say?
a give
Okay.
us a complete update of Rocco.
Oh, okay. Can I say the Hail Mary first?
Go ahead, go ahead. This is your show.
Hail Mary, full of grace. Well, nome del Padre, e Filii, e Spiritus Sancti. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. Uh, Rocco is he's doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better, but he can't really walk much because he ate this. It was hot out. He ate. I don't know if it was a sandwich, whatever it had. This whatever he ate off the ground, and it was a big sandwich or a wrap or whatever. Uh, the food or the meat in it was so old, or it poisoned him, and it messed up his nervous system and stuff. So he's got pains in his joints and he can't walk well. He can't walk well or nothing like that. But he is recovering, doing a lot better. No more diarrhea, no more puking. He's just in some pain, and I got to go back in 10 or 14 days, whatever it says on there. But I'll go to my vet this time. He's got to go for a recheck or whatever the hell they call that when you got to go back to the doctor. I can never think
Um,
of the word.
Emery, what exactly did Rocco eat?
I don't know, Uncle Edwin, because it happened so fast. All I know it was a large something, either a large sandwich, maybe a large chicken wrap, a meat wrap, or I don't. It happened so fast, and he gobbled it up so fast. All I could see was bread. Really, he gobbled it up within two gulps. It was down and gone.
Okay. Um, One question. What kind of food does he regularly what kind of food does he regularly eat?
Imes.
Is that dry food or
Yeah.
just or that's dry food?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Drive.
Okay. You see, uh, around 2 months ago, I always give Mimo dry food. I always give Mimo dry food, but I wanted him uh, to have like a more tastier food. So I started buying breast chicken, but in a can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, breast chicken, but that breast chicken is for us, for us humans.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give him a treat. Uh, I was giving him every day. Uh, each one can alone. Uh, the brand that I was buying was the best brand. It costs almost $4 a can.
Oh,
It comes, yeah, it comes in a can similar to tuna fish. So
oh,
so that what I was doing, I opened the can completely. I used to take out the water that comes in the can, but after a few days, Mimo got really really sick. He got sick. He was like, uh, Mimo's a happy cat. he's always jumping, and plus he's young. Nemo's around 7 months old.
Yeah, so you told me that he's
Yeah,
still a kitten, still a kitten.
but but let me tell you, I will never give Mimo human food, never. So thank God that he got well. So
Yeah, amen.
now, so all I do is I give him quality cat food, but dry food. It has to be dry food with fresh water. I even being here in Puerto Rico that is so hot, like right now. Right now is almost 100 degrees. Not
Wow.
even we don't even have a wind. I'm doing the lives. I'm doing the live in my backyard because it is hot. It is really hot. But getting back to Mimo and to Rocco, when uh when you take Rocco out for walks, uh you uh you have um you have to be careful. You have to be careful where you take him because a lot of people they throw away food in the parks
Yeah.
and in the parks there's a lot of things that are not good. So when you take your walk with Mimo, be alert all the
Yeah,
time.
I try, Uncle Edwin, but there's some times where I, uh, I can't help it. I let my guard down, but I always make sure and like kick food away from him all the time. But this one, I wasn't paying attention, and he got it. But you're right, I gotta pay attention a lot more. Can I say hi
And
to the chat?
yeah, go ahead. This
Can
is Emery. This is your show.
All right. Albanian Syndicate, welcome. Tomas, Chad, Carol, how you doing? Cantalupe Jones, Mike, Top G, Bella Rose, Sunny Money, Mobland. Did I miss anybody? Mike F. No, I think I got everybody.
God God bless everyone and welcome to the
Oh,
what I
Minnie.
call.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Emery. Go ahead.
No, I forgot Minnie. I didn't see Minnie pop in, so sorry, Minnie.
God bless everyone and welcome to the home theater chat. This is the home theater chat. Okay,
You said it gets
wait.
that hot, Uncle Ed. Do you have air conditioning and stuff?
Yeah. I have air conditioning, but the reason I'm doing the lives because I don't want to disturb my family because
Gotcha.
uh I speak kind of high, so I want everyone I don't want to disturb anyone.
Gotcha.
Anyway, uh God bless God bless Rocco, and I hope he gets better soon.
And can you do
And
me a
Mimo
favor?
sends him.
Can you
I'm
say
sorry.
can you say some prayers for Kane Shades? He had a
Right,
mild heart attack, and
you
they put
got it.
stents in him. So yeah, when you can, just say some prayers.
You
Thank you.
got it. Uh, someone last night while I was doing the live,
Yep.
someone gave me that information, and immediately we send blessings of good health to Kane Shades. And
Yeah.
if Kane Shades is listening, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit,
Amen.
may our Holy Mother Virgin Mary bless your complete body and your mind. And I hope tonight, with our prayers, Kane Shades can get better in the name of God. And I have faith. And I have faith, Marie, that Kane Shades will get better. And to be clear, this is my opinion of Kane Shades. He is a gentleman. He is a good person, and he's a brilliant young man. That
Yeah.
is my opinion of Kane Shades.
Yeah. He's a good guy, a good friend, good
Yeah,
people.
and I pray to God and the Virgin Mary that he gets well. Also, also bless. May God bless again, Rocco and Ken Shades.
Yeah.
Okay, Marie. Okay. Before we get into the topic, that I want your opinion. Okay, Miss Carol, my dear Miss Carol Michel, and her distinguished husband, Miss Carol. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat, and I will feel very honored for you to be on the panel with my nephew. So please, press press the link. If you cannot find it, if you cannot find it, I'll go again to the magic vault and I'll paste it again. So Miss Carol, press the link, please. I'm sending the 1959, but this time it's a red Cadillac, Emery.
Nice. Oh, the one you picked out last year. Nice.
Right. It's a red Cadillac, and that's for Miss Carol. Miss Carol is very dear to my heart, and also her husband.
She's a good person. She's a good person.
I'm sorry, Emery.
Very good person. I thank everybody that helped my dog. I appreciate it.
And she is also a great New Yorker, born and raised, just like Uncle Edwin. She's a certified New Yorker. Emery, before we get into the topic, I want to tell you something. Being that I can no longer communicate with you on Messenger, and I will tell you why. Some individual, which I do not know who it is because it's impossible. An individual, not that they hacked your account.
No, what they did.
Okay. But this is just my opinion. What they did was they doubled. They copied your whole. I don't know how they do it.
No, I know what happened is Uncle Edwin is they tricked me. What they do is they'll hack one person's Facebook, and then what happened was they sent me a message as my friend's sister, a girl I grew up with, and said to me, "Hey, I can't get into my email. Can you give me your email and it will send you a code and give it to me?" And when I did that, they hacked into my computer and bounced me out, and I can't get back into Facebook. So that is my account, but it is not me.
Emery.
Yes.
Let's welcome Miss Carol Michel. Miss Carol, welcome to the panel.
Good evening, Edwin. Good evening, MRE.
Go ahead, Miss Carol.
Good evening, Edwin. Good evening, MRE. Good evening to everybody in the chat. MRE, I am so
Miss Carol.
Yes.
Go ahead, Miss Carol. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry about ROCKO. I feel horrible. I just hope he gets better.
Yeah, thank you for helping. I really appreciate it.
No, that's no problem. No problem.
He's got a recovery, but he will live, thank God.
I'm glad. I'm really happy. I was praying yesterday like crazy.
Yeah, thank you for everybody in their prayers. I appreciate it.
Mrs. Carol, please give my respect. Please give my respect to Mr. To your dear husband.
I will, Edwin.
Okay. Miss Carol, it is an honor for me, and it is an honor for Emery to have you on the panel. We are going to touch a very serious topic, and I want to hear your opinions. You have the right to agree or to not agree. You have the right to free expression here. Okay, Miss Carol?
Now you're scaring me, but go ahead.
No, 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 no. No, to be clear, here, Miss Carol, here, like you know, we don't touch gossip, drama, or turmoil of any kind. We touch serious topics that affect us as citizens, uh, as citizens, and as regular people. But to be clear, we are not into gossip of any kind. Anyone that comes here with gossip, goodbye, goodbye forever. This is a positive channel, and we only talk about serious, serious, important topics that affect us in the world. So, Miss Carol, I consider you, Miss Carol. I've been active. I've been active on YouTube for from for almost 2 years. I consider you like my sister. And
Thank,
to be clear, you are very dear to my heart. You are very dear to my heart. And I'm gonna tell you something because I want you to understand how I feel about you and how I feel about my nephew, and also how I feel about Miss Angel. May God bless her, and I send her my respect. Miss Carol, being that you are on the panel right now, if a mosquito, if a mosquito would come and just sting you for a second, I would completely destroy that mosquito. That's the way I feel about you. Okay?
thank you, Edwin. That means a lot.
And that is from my heart. And that's the way I feel about my nephew. And that's the way I feel about Miss Angel. And that's the way I feel about my Uncle Tindu. So I give a big hug to Uncle Tindu. And also, I love everyone. Uh, and everyone is dear to me, and I respect everyone. Even the ones, Miss Angel, I'm sorry, Miss Carol, and my nephew. I even care about. I even care about. I even care about. I even care about the not so good ones also. Anyway, I want to get into the topic because it's but okay. I have one more thing. I want everyone. This is with the utmost respect. This is just a petition. I want everyone to support Vinny Bracco, the Brooklyn guy.
He's a
It
nice.
is my opinion. Go ahead, Emery.
No,
Go ahead, Emery.
I didn't mean. I just said he's a nice guy. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. Uh, I. This is my own opinion. Uh, Mr. Bracco, he has a good channel, and he's a very good speaker, and he brings good topics. So uh, I just want to promote him because I think he deserves it, and I wish him the best. And all I ask for everyone, if you want, because what I'm asking is voluntary, and I say it with respect. If you can, everyone, give him a sub and support his channel and support his channel by watching him. In my opinion, he is excellent, a good content creator, a serious man. That is my opinion of 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 Mr. Vinny. So, Mr. Vinny, God bless you, and may the Holy Mother of the Virgin Mary always guide you.
Amen.
Okay, let's get into the topic. Let's get into the topic. The topic tonight is we must believe in God. Under the Constitution of the United States of America, that we are all U.S. citizens. And what unites us is our citizenship. And one thing very important, one thing is our citizenship, and another is our nationality, our personal nationality. See, I am a Puerto Rican American. Uh, my nephew, He's Italian Irish American. Italian Irish American. An example: Emery is a U.S. citizen, born and raised uh, in the state of Rhode Island.
Yep.
Now his personal nationality from his dear parents. May God bless them, and God bless the memory of his dad in heaven. His personal nationality is Italian and Irish. That has nothing to do with the U.S. citizenship. See, because a lot of people, Emery and Miss Carol, a lot of people confuse their personal nationality with their citizenship. One thing is our legal citizenship under the Constitution, and another is our personal heritage, culture from our grandparents. I want to make that clear. And I also want to make that clear under the law, under the federal law and state laws of every U.S. state and territory. Everyone has the right to believe or not to believe in God, because God teaches us that we must respect the law of man. That's how come God says, what is of Caesar is of Caesar, and what is of God is of God. Uh, it is my opinion, with all respect to the Constitution, everyone must believe in God. Because if you don't believe in God, you are open. See, Miss Emery, Miss Carol, it is my opinion, and I want yours. I want your opinion also, and you have the right to disagree. There's no problem. To be clear, this is just my opinion. It is my opinion that the people that do not believe in God, they are living an empty life on earth. Again, I say, it is my opinion, the opinion of Edwin Jimenez, that the people that do not believe in God, they live an empty life. And this is my belief. When that person dies, when that person dies, their soul, their soul is unprotected. That means the devil can reclaim your soul because you don't believe in God. That is my opinion. This is a short story. When I was a little boy, my mother told me a story about a woman that lived in her town in Puerto Rico when she was a little girl. That old lady, it was an old lady. May God bless her soul. I don't know her name because my mother never told me her name. She was a neighbor of the neighborhood. That lady did not believe in God, and she was known as the witch.
Huh.
She was known as the witch in the neighborhood. Okay, when I say neighborhood, here in Puerto Rico, it is called el barrio. Okay, what is a barrio?
A neighborhood.
When my mother was a young girl, it was all like farm. There was one house here, and then like maybe 10 or 20, 10. Let's say there was one house here, and let's say one more block, another house, one more block, another house. That's the way it was in Puerto Rico when my mother was born and raised. There was no electricity, there was no water. My mother was born in a little wooden shack, a wooden shack that if a hurricane would come, would blow my mother right to the moon directly.
Wow.
There was no running water, there was no electricity. The floor was a dirt floor. My mother brushed her teeth with the plants that grew. Uh, for my mother to eat breakfast, she would have to go to the shack and get the eggs from a chicken. It was like real country living. And my mother did not wear shoes. All the kids, all the kids in her era here in Puerto Rico, they had shoes, but the shoes were worn for Sunday only and to go to school. That was all. Anyway, one day, I will tell the whole story of how my mother, the childhood of my mother, which is completely different from our childhood. Now, getting back, that old lady was known as the witch of the neighborhood. She used to do a lot of bad things. My mother, and and she used to do spells and curses, and she used to reclaim. Instead of reclaiming God, she used to reclaim the devil, and she
Wow.
used to live by herself. Okay, my mother tells me, uh, Emery and Carol, my mother tells me that when that lady was in her last hours, the screams, the screams were heard all over the neighborhood. Look, right now I have goose pimples on my body.
Wow.
That that elderly lady, she screamed. I mean, her screams were terrifying. Something like The Exorcist. My mother told me something like The Exorcist. See, wh- wh- what what I am trying to say, and this is in good faith, to those that do not believe in God, please, I am I implore you, please start believing, because the day you die, the devil will take your soul. And the people, Miss Carol, and my nephew, my dear nephew, and all the good people, all our family, relatives in the chat, with the utmost respect to all. You must believe in God, because if you do not believe in God, and this is my opinion, you are living an empty life. And people that do not believe in God, they live in constant turmoil and 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 people that do not believe in God, they never get anywhere in life. That is my opinion. Now, Miss Carol, it is your turn. Go ahead, Miss Carol.
I believe in God. I'm Roman Catholic, first off. And secondly, MRE, you'll know what I'm talking about. And Edwin, you should know too. I wear the brown scapula of Our Lady
Me.
of Mount Carmel.
Nice.
I was under an operation several years ago to have my hip replaced, and I refused to allow the surgeon to remove that scapula. And when I woke up from the anesthesia, the scapula was in the same exact place that I had it before I went under. I have a very strong faith in God, and I do believe that people that don't believe in God, their lives are empty, because what do they have to show for it? Most people that I know that are like that are mean spirited and just cause misery because their lives are so empty. At least that's my personal opinion. Maybe it's the way I was brought up, because I went to Catholic school. I had a very strong family background, and I went to Catholic high school. Do I agree with everything? I think the reason the world is in the shape that it's in today isn't only because of the people that are in charge of it, but also because they have empty souls. That's why
Amen.
we have all the turmoil we have. That's my opinion.
Well said. And God bless you. Thank God you came through with that. That's a beautiful story with the scalpula.
It's the truth, Maury. And I'll tell you something. Anytime I'm facing something that I think I can't handle, whether it be surgical or a problem within the family or whatever, I pray to the Blessed Mother and to the Sacred Heart, and they have never failed me. And that's
Amen.
how I feel.
Yeah, I also when I'm down or nervous, I keep my rosary beads on me and pray. I have a few different, some rosary beads that I'll allow to go outside. Some I won't because sometimes I can lose them. It's happened before. But on Edwin's thing, I believe I don't think that America should make windows into people's souls. But and if it was up to me and I was king of the world, yeah, you would have to believe in God. But people that don't, I would hope that they would, because I can't imagine not believing in God or having that faith that I'm never going to see my family again, or this is just it. But I have met good people who don't believe in God, that were good people. But most people that were mean spirited and stuff don't believe in God, because you got to think, if you think there's no consequences, you don't care. Someone like me or you that are Catholic, we're not going to do something like because we don't want to go to hell. When you really believe that you're going to go to hell, you're not going to do it. These people with no beliefs, and not all of them. There's some good. Some of them come out. One guy, agnostic, was a real good guy. He doesn't believe in God, but he's a real good guy. But a lot of these people that I've come across who don't believe, yeah, they're willing to do bad things, not care, because in their mind there's no penalty for it or no reward. I can't imagine not having faith. Faith's a huge part of my life. I cannot imagine. Before they did surgery on me, I had a priest come give me my last confessions, and I confessed. And I don't confess. I've only confessed twice in my life. That's one thing I don't do a lot, is confess my sins. But yeah, I did it on there. I confessed all my sins.
And Maureen, do you know how I confess my sins?
Huh?
Do you know how I do confession?
To the rosary?
The rosary, and I get on my knees before the crucifix, and I tell God, and I cry, and then I have on my bureau the holy face of Jesus in a frame,
Oh, nice.
and I pray to him to forgive me. Okay? And the reason I don't go to confession in the church is because I feel the state of the church today and the things that are going on within it, that I'm confessing my sins to somebody that I don't even know if they have the power to forgive me anymore, because some of them are worse than we are.
Amen.
All right. And that's just how I feel personally. So I
Miss,
feel that by confessing to God or to the Holy Face of Jesus and our Blessed Mother, they will forgive me. They know I'm sorry.
Miss, Mrs. Carroll, Mrs. Carroll, and Emery. Emery, please excuse me for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Emery, this is your show.
I'll
You
take
are
over.
in charge. You are completely in charge. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay?
Yeah, I got it, Uncle Edwin. No, I see what you're saying, Carol. And since Vatican II happened, like my buddy B1's talking in the chat, Vatican II modernized the church. And what modernization means is destruction in the church. And when Vatican II happened, they let a lot of people to be priests and stuff who shouldn't have been priests. They done a lot of things. Vatican II was it was a 3-year utter disaster on destroying the church by left-wing communists and people inside the church to destroy it.
You're right.
For example, no nuns don't have to wear their veil no more. So when I'm out and I see a Holy Mother, I don't even know she's a nun no more. That's just one example. Requirements for priests and stuff. After Vatican II, we had influx of molestations and stuff. Vatican II really, really was a letdown, big time. And I have confessed my sins a couple times to a priest, and I would to a good priest. But just any old priest nowadays from the Vatican II era, a lot of these priests will tell you to get abortions nowadays. The Catholic Church has gone so modernism, and modernism equals destruction. Progressivism equals destruction in the church. It's just amazing. Look at our Pope right now. I don't believe he's not my Pope.
He's not my Pope either.
I don't look at him as. I think the chair of Saint Peter is empty, and I can't wait till we get a real Pope again. But any Pope who is going to bow down to abortion, crazy things like that he does, I just don't. And as a Catholic, you're supposed to follow the Pope, but I don't believe this man is a Catholic, in my opinion, because his views are just not Catholic views. Put it this way: 30 years ago, he would have been kicked out of. He wouldn't have been a bishop with his beliefs. It's amazing.
Not only that, Maury, you know what made me sour? Besides that, because forget about the state of the church today. What made me sour was when they allowed laymen to turn around and hand out the Eucharist.
Yeah,
and they took away the altars in the church. Yep. That's when I started souring, because I was taught, and that only the priest can touch the consecrated host, nobody else, and you were to always receive it in your mouth. Then they went from that to deacons. Now you've got women up there serving it. And now they want you to take it in your hands.
In your hand.
No.
Yeah. When I go in line, I always go into line where the priest is giving it, and I am not letting anybody but the priest put the Holy Eucharist in my mouth.
I agree totally.
Because at my church also, I had two churches to go to. I do go to a pre-Vatican II church that's in Latin Mass, but I don't get there as much. So I just go to the regular normie Catholic churches, and I'm always in the line with the priest. I don't care how long I'm going to wait. I am not letting a layman give me the Eucharist.
You know what got me upset, Maury? I went into church last Sunday, right?
Yep.
And as soon as I entered the church, I genuflect all the way down on my knee because of the sacristan. And you had to see the looks I got. It looked like there was something wrong with me, like I was an alien, because I genuflected.
Well, yeah, they're Protestizing. It's basically the Catholic Church now is like almost like a Protestant church. Almost, it's like unbelievable. Like if we could go back before Vatican II, the 50s and the 60s, the way the church was, it would be a lot different and way better.
Yes, I'll tell you a funny story. My husband is Greek Orthodox. Okay.
Yes, I know that. Yep. You celebrate too. Yep, I know.
Okay, I took him to a Catholic church in Brooklyn for Easter, for our Easter. I was so embarrassed. Because when we walked out, and I'm going back to the 90s when I did this, he turned around and he said to me, "What did you just do? You just brought me into a Protestant church?" And I looked at him and I says, "No, that's a Catholic church." And he goes, "You could have fooled me." So then he took me to a Greek Orthodox church. What a difference.
Oh, I respect the author, the Russian and the Greek Orthodox churches. I have a lot of respect for them. They keep their traditions. They don't throw it away and modernize and progress and change. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for them.
Exactly.
And that's funny though. Your husband, your husband was dead, right?
Because when he walked into the church and during the mass, they started playing the guitars and singing and hallelujah, and he's looking at me like, "What did you bring me into?" And then when we get outside and he told me, and I just looked at him, I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. And believe me, I'm far from speechless. He caught me speechless because I didn't know what to say to him. I couldn't answer him. I just looked at him and he says to me, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know." And then when he started taking me to the Greek Orthodox church in Middletown, when we moved up here to PA, I started going there every Sunday with him.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, what
Yeah.
happened is Vatican II happened. A lot of people don't understand what Vatican II and how it changed and modernized, which means destroyed. The Vatican II was actually a big, big blunder, a 3 year blunder that totally modernized and changed everything with the church. And look what happened ever since. It went downhill.
Yeah. And do
They
you know
can
what
never
they
touch our faith. We always keep our faith, and they can never touch that. But it's really sad that we can't go to real traditional masses in the way it was and the way it should be.
do you know what they do for confession in the Greek Orthodox Church? They have you kneel down in front of an icon of Jesus, a big icon, right? And they put like this cloak over you with a hood, and you kneel there and you tell the icon your sins, and then the priest turns around and tells you, may Jesus and may God forgive you. He doesn't give you absolution. He tells you, may they forgive you.
Gotcha. See, I never knew that about the. I've never been to the Orthodox. I just respect that they keep their traditions. They don't call what they call modernize and change things. And what gets me is a lot of the views on abortion that our own Pope holds. It's amazing. Blows my mind. There's like when I was a little kid, I never went to Catholic schools though, but I went to Sunday school. My aunt, all her friends were nuns. I think I told the story about I was on the in '87 on the subway with the nuns, and my nun had a gun to protect us. And I, growing up, I picketed. I went and protested with the nuns and my aunt abortion clinics. I did that as a little kid, and it's amazing how it's not just they've accepted. It's in some churches in Main Street. It's pushed nowadays. It's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of things are being pushed that I just look at how they changed the whole mass. They've
Yeah,
even changed the credo,
yeah.
okay, the wording in it, and then this sitting pope, whatever he thinks he is, wanted to change the Our Father.
I
And I
know.
was like, are you kidding me? And the priest says to me, well, he doesn't like the part where it says, oh, what the heck was it? About lead us not into temptation. I said, what? He goes, well, he thinks it's evil. I said, how is that evil? He's
Yeah,
asking you not to sin.
yeah.
Don't be tempted. I said, what is wrong with you people?
Well, that's why I love this church that I go to in Massachusetts. I can only get there once a month. It's a pre-Vatican II church where it's in Latin. It's Latin Mass, and it's
Hmm.
done just as they done it 100 years ago.
Yeah, I miss the Latin Mass because up here where I am, where I live now, they don't do that. And I miss that. But what annoys them is, you know how they keep updating the Mass booklets?
Yes,
Well, I say everything the old way, and I don't care because that's what I believe, that's what I was taught, and that's what I do, and I'm not going to change. In
amen.
fact, I'll make you crack up. The reason I stopped going to confession too was I went to a priest up here. He's deceased now. May God have his soul. I went in and I said to him, Father, why are all these changes going on? Why is this being changed? Why is the communion being changed? You know, this isn't the way I was brought up. Do you know what this priest had the nerve to tell me?
No,
He turned around and told me, that's the devil talking. That's not you talking.
wow.
I got up, I looked at him, and I said to him, you will never see me in this church as long as you're the pastor. And I got up and walked out.
Wow. Good for you, though.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, there's
Mm.
something special about the Latin Mass. Let me tell you, there's a feeling that I get at the. Now, don't get me wrong; it's a long Mass. It could be, then that's
Oh,
another thing.
yeah.
They keep shortening the Mass. Every next is going to be 10 minutes, but there's something special about going to Latin Mass that just makes you. I don't know. I can't. It's hard to explain. I get chills thinking about it. I love it. I just absolutely love it.
Well, that's like they don't even do midnight mass anymore for
I know.
Christmas or Easter. And I used to love to sit there for the Easter vigil till 6 in the morning
Yeah.
and and the midnight mass for Christmas Eve.
I know. I loved it. I had a church up the street from me, St. Bridget's. It's no longer there. She was an Irish saint that followed St. Patrick around Ireland, and she would feed the widows and the orphans and stuff like that. And I used to love going to the midnight mass. They stopped it about 15 years ago. Now the church is gone 5 years ago. Now it's the evangelical church.
Oh, it's a sin.
So many think about all the Catholic churches that are just being all turned into evangelical. Like again, and a lot of people is because of these scandals where these bishops, these priests harm kids, and they send them from Milwaukee to Boston. Take them to the basement of the Vatican, put them on trial, and do whatever you got to do with them, and let them never be priests again on their children. How dare they? They're supposed to protect. They're
up here, when the scandal started with the priest, up here, the local newspaper somehow got a list of all the priests that were suspects of that. And they printed their names in the local paper. And my husband walked in and he says to me, "What's the matter?" And I looked at him and I says to him, "My God, that list is so long." I says, and I know at least 4 of them. I had them when I attended elementary school in Brooklyn. I says, "I can't believe this." I said, but they had the audacity to get up on that pulpit and give a sermon telling us what we should be doing, and look at what they were doing.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's terrible. Unbelievable how within another 20 years there won't be many Catholic churches left, sadly. So many of them are shutting down. And people,
and Catholic
it's because
schools.
And schools, and it is because a lot of people, I want my people, if you don't push your beliefs on your children, somebody else is going to push their beliefs on your children. We're supposed to teach our children our culture, our heritage, our religion, and so many people just don't know more. So many young kids, even in my family, it's like, he's not making his communion. What are you doing? Like, what's going on? It's like, we grew up in a Catholic family. Keep traditions alive. I'm a godfather twice, and I take that. That's a great, one of the greatest honors that was ever bestowed on me was being a godfather. And my two godsons are 13 and 14 right now. I love them to death. They just moved back up here. They lived in Florida for the last 6 years, but oh my God, it's such an honor, and I love those kids. And and all these young kids, it's just the parents are not teaching them, their faith. And you don't believe, and I'm sorry, when you got a majority of people who do not believe in a higher power, like I said, they're willing to be more susceptible, not all of them, but a large majority are more susceptible to doing bad things because there's no punishment for them.
That's right. My 7-year-old granddaughter, when she comes here for dinner, she'll sit here with me and she'll do her prayer before dinner with me, and she'll do the prayer after dinner.
That's awesome.
And I see her sometimes go up to my bedroom, and I'll go up to my bedroom and I'll say, "Athena, what are you doing?" And she goes, "Grandma, I've got your Bible. I know how to read now. I'm reading." And I just smile. And the other day she saw my rosaries around the Blessed Mother, and she says to me, "Grandma, you got a lot of rosaries," because this house, forget it. And I said to her, "Would you like a pair? Grandma will teach you how to do the rosary." So she says, "Yeah, Grandma." She says, "Can I pick any color I want?" I said, "Yeah." So she picked out these blue crystal rosaries.
How cute. And that's so awesome.
She kneels down with me, and I'm teaching her, and she's learning. She came in today at about 2:00. My daughter dropped her off, and she said, "Grandma, did you do your rosary yet?" I said, "No." She goes, "Well, let's go do it."
Wow,
I said, "Okay."
Great little Catholic warrior. Same when I was little, my father, every night was story time about history stuff. But before we did our history, always the Our Father, Blessed Mother, I mean, the Our Father, Hail Marys. We did our prayers before we did history time, where I would go to bed. He'd tell me stories of Julius Caesar, Henry VII, and all that kind of stuff. But before that, it was prayers.
Yep.
And when I was a little kid, when I would do something wrong and I would lie, how they would get me was my grandmother and my father had these two same saint statues with Jesus and the Blessed Mother, and in the middle is where you put your rosary beads. They're connected. So they used to come out and say, "Put your hand on the saint and tell us what happened." And I'd always get caught in the lie. I'd always get caught because I would never put my hand on that and lie. So if, let's say, I threw the ball and hit my little brother in the head with a ball, or let's say I broke a neighbor window, and they's like, "All right, did you do it?" I'm like, "I didn't do that. No way. I swear it." They says, "Come in the house." And they would come out of my grandmother's room. And they say, "Put your hand on the saint." And I'm like, "Okay, I did it. I'm sorry."
Yes.
I was
know.
so, there's nothing, I could not put my hand on that, like, and lie. I knew. So they get me every time. So then I just stopped and just told them the truth because I knew they were going to go grab the saint and I'd be done.
And Marie and Carol, please forgive me for interrupting. I just want to bring up a point. That way you can discuss it with Carol and with our chat family. There are young babies. There are young babies that are being born and their parents are not baptizing them.
Yeah.
A baby. This is the information I have. As soon as that baby comes out of that sacred womb of the mother, that baby should be baptized in 30 days.
Yes.
In 30 days. Nowadays, many parents do not baptize their children at all, or they wait, or they wait. And check this out. Check this out, Emery and Carol. And I want your opinion on this. Look at the world that we're living right now. Listen to this before you faint. Carol, there's a seatbelt. There's a seatbelt on your chair. Please put on the seatbelt.
Okay.
There are parents. There are parents in this world that tell their little. Let's say it's a little boy. A little boy is born. The little boy is 1, 2, 3 years old. They tell their little boy, little son, when you get older, you decide if you are a girl or a boy. I mean, that is crazy.
It's child abuse.
We must be clear. If a little baby, and this I say with the utmost respect, if a little baby is born with a penis, it's a boy. You don't have to have a doctorate degree from Harvard Medical School, which is one of the best universities for lawyers and for doctors. If a little baby has a penis, hey, it's a boy. That means you buy him a football helmet, and you buy him a football, and you buy him the picture of Vince Lombardi to put in his room. If you have a little girl, you get Barbie dolls and you buy a lot of pink dresses. But you do not tell a little boy or little girl, when you grow up, decide, would you like to be a little girl? They're training little girls to be men, and then they're training little boys to be women, but they're not women. I would like your opinion, Miss Carol and Emery.
Well,
I
ladies
don't
first.
think you want my opinion on that because I am so against it. When I was growing up, I played with dolls and stuff till a certain age. Once I started becoming a teenager, I found myself hanging out more with the boys than the girls. And my father would come down the block and say, "Where is she?" And my mother would go, "Oh, she's a tomboy. She's climbing a tree. She's doing base, stickball, whatever. In today's world, if my granddaughter did that, they'd be telling her to go get a sex change operation. God help the person that tells her that, because they're going to have to deal with me. But it's crazy. I mean, I'm against the whole thing. I'm fighting with the school over the transgender issue. You want to be transgender? God bless you. That's your business.
Yep, as an
But
adult.
give them their own bathroom. Do not have them in the same bathroom with my granddaughter
Yeah.
or with somebody's son or daughter. I'm sorry, that doesn't fly with me. And these parents today, I don't know what's wrong with them that they would even agree. And in some states, MRE, you would know.
Yeah,
In
some
some
states.
states, they're doing it without the parents' consent.
Oh, yes, that's pure indoctrination. It's pure indoctrination, and there's nothing wrong with a little girl being a tomboy. You know how many tomboys I knew who grew up to be the most beautifulest women around? There's nothing wrong with that at all. And you're right. They would tell them that. They're pushing it nowadays. Not only that, the teachers are going behind the parents' back and helping the kids get these things. And a lot of times kids are confused at that age, especially when they get all this evil, devilish propaganda thrown at them.
That's right.
It's a real shame. And I'm
That's
totally against it. I am totally, listen, what any adult wants to do with their body when they're older, you're an adult. You can do whatever you like. But I don't agree with it. But how dare you? How dare you? How dare you corrupt these children and poison these children's minds and try to destroy them? How dare you? It's
agree.
infuriating.
They don't allow children to be children anymore.
Well, yes, little kids, excuse me, but little kids should not know nothing about sexual stuff at all. There's a time where they're going to get old and the birds and the bees talk will come with mom and dad. That'll be, there should be no sexual pushing of any sort, on children. Let them be children.
That's right. Let them be children.
Let them have their childhood and their innocence. Why expose them to this, to any kind of, should I go in front of a 7-year-old and say, this is me making out with a girl? No sex at all, none of it. And it's amazing that they're going to push this degeneracy on these children and try to get them to mutilate themselves and help them pay for it. And these communist, leftist, liberal teachers are just animals in my eyes. They really are to do this to these children.
Well,
Marie.
Yes,
Marie. Marie, Miss Carol, please forgive me for interrupting. How do you like your coffee, Miss Carol and Marie?
Extra.
Okay. I will be serving coffee and also to the chat, and we have white cheese from the milk of a white cow. Okay?
Oh, nice. That looks good. I love his pot right there.
Yeah.
This is real Puerto Rican coffee from a farm in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
And this is milk from a cow. The cow is shy, and I would have to have the permission of the ASPCA to have her on the line. But Emery and Miss Carol,
yeah, great.
I promise the next time the cow will go on live with ROCKO and Mimo.
He's crazy.
Well,
all the healthy food he was eating. Carol, did you see that episode about what the food he was cooking? It was all healthy, right? A real chicken that was just killed, no preservatives, none of that stuff in there. It was good. It was a great episode.
Oh yes, I saw it. I've been watching all his episodes that he's been doing. In fact, you want to laugh? Today he sent me a Lucy video to Facebook. My husband's looking at me because I have the earbuds in my ear, and I'm hysterical laughing. And he's going, "What's so funny?" I says, "Look," I says, "Edwin sent me this." He says, "You're watching I Love Lucy on Facebook."
Hi,
But I was sitting
Miss
outside
Carol,
hysterical.
Miss
Yes.
Carol and Miss Carol and my nephew. There are only two donuts left because my grandson ate them all. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut them up in all little pieces, and then I'll just give them to. I'll give the little pieces to the chat, and then some leftover for you guys. But
Thank
my grandson is punished. My grandson, because this box was completely filled up
you.
with donuts. The
Oh,
donuts are from
they're good.
the,
Krispy Kreme.
the donuts are from Krispy Kreme.
Yeah,
So
those are good.
tonight's telecast is sponsored by Krispy Kreme. Just some humor, just some humor. Go ahead, Emery and Miss Carol.
What we were speaking about, the school systems and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
and it's being pushed. Not only it's being pushed on TV. My friend's son is about 5 years old, and he lets him watch YouTube for kids, right? And he'll see
Mm-hmm.
he'll know the first four videos that are coming up, and he'll check them, and then all of a sudden he won't pay attention, and this thing pops up, and it's called Queer Kids, right? And it's this woman with glasses dressed up as a man, and it's all about indoctrinating children, and it's amazing. And like every time he's like, "Oh, I didn't know the kid was watching it," and he blocked it and made sure they couldn't watch that. But it comes up in the feeds, and that's done on purpose. You'd think he's watching something wholesome on YouTube Kids, and all of a sudden this thing pops in with his pure propaganda, and there to purely just brainwash your kid. It's
Oh
amazing.
yeah. Oh yeah. And look at all the books they took out of school and how
Yep.
they're changing all the old movies to fit
Yep.
their narrative. Give me a break.
Yeah. This is a Satan devilish agenda that is being pushed from as I might sound crazy, but it's true. Look up Operation Mockingbird, the CIA. And the CIA is deep in Hollywood. They always been. They take care of. They run newspapers. They run movies. They're directors. And if anybody doesn't believe me, go look up Operation Mockingbird. And that they push their agenda. You think this is all organic? All of a sudden, the school systems, the TV, everybody's pushing. Let's turn little boys into little girls. No, this is a well planned, thought out, satanic thing to attack our children and our people, and it's sick.
And you know what's going to happen? Sooner or later, those skies are going to open and they're going to all have to answer for what they're doing.
Oh, they sure will. They will, because he's going to judge the living and the dead, and yeah, those people are going to be cast into hell. So they better repent and get on the right road quick.
I agree. Because the more I see going on with all the earthquakes that are happening, all the
Yeah,
fires, all the
floods, everything.
tornadoes, everything that's going on, you know, they're being warned, but they're not paying attention. And my advice to anybody that doesn't believe it is to watch the original, not the newer one, the original movie of Our Lady of Fatima. And maybe they'll understand why what's happening is happening today.
Yep, the Fatima. Yep, that's where the Blessed Mother appeared in the Secrets of Fatima.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Carol and Emery, I want your opinion on this. This is something that is happening. Uh, we have some family friends that do this practice, but I want the opinion after I tell it. I would like the opinion of Miss Carol and Emery, and also the people, also our chat family members. We have a close family of friends, but we don't say nothing. And I would never say that. I would never say anything because that's not my business. That's their business. But but I am going to describe it without mentioning any names. Like they say, the names are changed. Not to protect the not so innocent. Check this out. We have a friend. We have a friend. Uh, the lady's like like in her 50s, and her daughter is 18. It's just the mother. It's just the mother and the daughter because sadly they are divorced. So the daughter lives. The daughter lives with her mother. Check this out. The daughter, to be clear, the daughter is 18 years old. The daughter has a boyfriend. The daughter has a boyfriend that sleeps over their house. When the boyfriend comes, he's receiving benefits that he should only have if he's married. That's that's just my opinion. The mother accepts that. The mother she she is in full agreement that her daughter can sleep with her boyfriend without being married. In my era, in my era, and also miss in because me and Carol are from the same era. In our era, in order for a boyfriend to sleep with a girlfriend in the house, in the same house with the mother and the father, you had to have a marriage license. You had to have a marriage license. There's a lot of mothers, there's a lot of mothers and also fathers that permit that.
Oh yeah, they want to
I
be the
want,
cool mom and the cool dad. They want to be that they
I
do.
mean,
I do you want my opinion or you? Did I cut you off? Sorry.
no, don't worry. But check this out. A part that he sleeps over with the daughter, the mother, check this out. The mother makes breakfast for the boyfriend too. It's
Wow.
unbelievable. What I'm trying to say is that I have my granddaughter. I have my granddaughter, and I raised my granddaughter since she was a little girl. She's gonna be 15 soon, but we celebrated on this weekend for reasons that I'll tell you later. But let's say my granddaughter one day she has a boyfriend. That's not gonna happen here.
80
Do
years
you?
old. My Uncle Edwin, she can't date till she's 80. Remember?
Right. But what that I what I'm trying to explain that I can't believe that the mother of the daughter permits that, and there are fathers that permit that. Because
Yes.
I remember when I was the boyfriend of my wife, boy, her father, may he rest in peace, her father interrogated me like if I was applying for a federal job at the FBI. You see?
That's
So
yeah.
Miss Carol and Emery, give us your give us your opinion on that.
I'll tell you this. My youngest son is 30, going to be 35 next month. Okay? He has a girlfriend. She was married before, she's divorced, whatever the story is. They came in for Easter. He went and stayed at a hotel. He would not even ask me or my husband if they could stay here. Okay? And I said to him, and it's funny, Maury, because his name is Nico too. And I said to him, Nico, well, why? And he looked at me and he says, Mom, I respect you and Dad. I'm not going to bring her in here like that. He says, we'll stay at a hotel. And this is an adult.
Yeah. Good kid.
Okay? My daughter, the same way, all the kids are that way. They're just they're just off. And I'm happy, you know.
You're
But in
blessed.
I am blessed. I mean, my oldest is 51, and my youngest is my daughter, and she's going to be 34 in January because her and Nico are like, I think, a year and a half apart. And I have the three boys and the girl, and they all have respect. And I honestly believe it has a lot to do with the family and the way you were raised, because if you pass your traditions and values onto them and instill it in them, they grow up to be responsible, respectable, morals, integrity, the whole 9 yards. I honestly believe that. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the way I look at it is, you got a lot of these parents nowadays who don't teach the kids that, and they all want to be the cool parents, and oh, it's modern now, and all this. It's like, well, if you're gonna let your 14 or 15-year-old daughter have a boyfriend over when she wakes up pregnant, like you're condoning it almost, like no, don't allow that. Obviously, they're gonna have boyfriends and girlfriends. They're only human, but don't let them sleep over like that and do that, because you're only asking for that to happen. You know, you're only asking for, it's human nature. You put a boyfriend or girlfriend, young kids together, things are going to happen. So, and they're encouraging that. And then, oh, I can't believe she's pregnant or he got her pregnant. Well, you're allowing them to sleep over. What do you think's
That's
going to
right.
happen? What do you think?
Exactly.
It blows my. I don't have no children, but if I had kids, no way am I letting my daughter nor my son bring a girl in the house and doing that. I wouldn't. I wouldn't allow it. Everybody's different, but no, I wouldn't
And
allow that.
Marie, and
Yes.
Marie, and Maria Miss Carol, and Maria Miss Carol, check this out, and chat family members. I say jokingly, I say jokingly, I say jokingly to my wife, but privately, because I'm not gonna say that joke in front of that family. The boyfriend sleeps over with the young girl. They make love all night. The mother makes the breakfast. The mother makes the breakfast for that unproductive human being, and he doesn't even leave a tip on the breakfast table. How about that?
Well, can I answer something in the chat? Bong Funk
Go
says,
ahead,
"Oh,
go ahead.
he says, oh, well, let it happen in a back alley or back seat of a car or something. Hey, you know what? If they're going to go do that, let them, because at least you're not condoning it, at least. Obviously, we don't want them to do that, but if you raise them right, they won't do that. You know what I mean? But still, you can't encourage that and let it happen in your home. You're just asking for it. And if they're going to sneak out and
Plain,
do it, they're going to do that. But at least you did not contribute to it and say okay and okay it and let it go on.
plain,
That's it.
plain and plain and simple, plain and simple, and with respect to the opinion of everyone. In my house, in my lifetime, there are no free samples. You want free samples? You got to get married. You have to show me the license, and I want the biggest piece of cake in the wedding.
You know what I used to tell my boys when they were growing up and they started dating? Don't do anything to any girl that you wouldn't want somebody to do to
Done
your
to your sister.
sister. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what was told to me by my father and my uncles. Treat women how you would want someone to treat your sister or your niece. That's what I
That's
was
right.
always told.
And I used to tell my daughter, you know, well, mom and daughter talk. And I used to tell, because when she went to school, like in high school and middle school, that's when all this stuff was like starting to come all out in the open, and the schools were talking about it and all of that. And she came home and she asked me something, and I went marching up to the school. This is the truth, MRE. And I had such a fight with the school board over the sex education class.
Oh, they're the worst.
And they were saying, What are you talking about? Why are you saying that we should be teaching these children?
Your kid broke up, Carol.
I'm sorry. I went over up to the school board, and was fighting with them, telling them, I said, because that's when AIDS had first started
Yep,
and
80s.
all those diseases. And I turned around and I told them, I says, why aren't you teaching these children about oral sex? That they can catch AIDS or different STDs the same way. And the school board told me, oh, that doesn't happen. Not here. And I said to them, really? Okay, Friday night there's a football game. I suggest you go look behind the bleachers and see what's going on at your school with your students.
No,
Okay?
100%. Right.
A year later, it comes out in the local paper that this school had the highest STDs in the state.
Wow. See? Wow. Amazing.
Okay?
Yeah, I don't. I remember when they first brought sex ed into school when I was in fourth grade. I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be there. I didn't like it. I felt so uncomfortable.
I never had that problem because even my parents wouldn't talk to me about it when I grew up. I had to go look in the library to find out what was going on.
Yeah, I think they started it when I was in fourth grade, and it was all the kids were so uncomfortable. None of the kids wanted to be there. Like they didn't like. It's like we have parents that are going to teach us about this in a few. We don't need to know this. Let us be kids. We're in fourth grade. Like it's amazing.
It is.
I can see them teaching about like the body and anatomy, things like that. But sexual stuff, no. Like the school wants to control your children nowadays. They want to not only control them, they want to make them another gender. But it's just amazing.
Hey Marie,
Yeah.
please excuse me. I put the link in the chat. If American Made and Bella Rose. American Made and Bella Rose.
Oh, two good people. And my Protestant brother Grant's in there, my little Protestant brother.
I'm inviting right now, with all respect to the others, everyone will get an opportunity. But for now, American Made and Miss Bella Rose. I put the link, I put the magic link in the chat. Bella Rose, please press it, and American Made, please. Go ahead, Emery.
Oh, how you doing, Amber Alert? I can't type in the chat or I'd say hi to everybody. But what was I saying now? I'm looking at my dog. He won't.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive the interruption that I did. Go ahead, Emery and Miss Carol.
You were talking about the sex education in the schools and how embarrassed you were.
Yes, very. I didn't like it, and none of the kids did. I remember kids, and in fourth grade, we didn't skip class or nothing. I remember kids taking off and walking. I remember one time I walked home, and I told my grandmother, like, Grandma, I don't want to sit there. They're telling me all this sexual stuff, and she's like, you don't have to go to school no more. But obviously, my parents still made me go. And there's nothing they could do about it. My father complained. There was nothing they could do about it. They're like, well, then take him out of the school and put him in another one then.
I remember when I was in Catholic school and I went to my first dance. This is the God honest truth, Maureen. I had the St. Joseph nuns. They used to go between a boy and a girl when they were dancing and put a ruler between us to keep us 12 inches apart when we were slow dancing. You believe that?
Well, that's good. That's just the way it was back then. And look at how how far we fell in these generations. Look what good luck. Like there's gonna be no old sweet grandmas in the future. All the grandmas in 30 years, 40 years are gonna have nose rings, tattoos on their face, blue hair. There's gonna be no old sweet grandmas no more to bake cookies and teach them things. They're just destroying this country.
I already know a few like that. Please.
And I blame it. I blame it on communism. I blame it on Satan and the lack of faith and the lack of morals. That it just blows my mind.
Oh, it blows mine too. I mean, I'm not perfect, but
No one is.
I see what's going on, and it scares the living heck out of me.
Oh yeah, I look at my little nieces and my godsons, and I say, "Oh my God!" Oh, my great nieces and nephews who was like, like 5, 8, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what's the world going to be with these kids when they get older?" That's why it's very important. Like with my godsons, they used to before they moved to Florida, they used to stay with me on the weekends when they were little, and every night I would just like my dad did with me. I would teach not every night on the weekends when they stayed over. I made them say their prayers before bed, and then I told them history stories and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But 7 years, like I haven't seen them. Like I've seen them like a few times in 7 years. We talk on the phone a lot, but they don't. They still don't. They don't do the prayers no more. And I'm kind of
Upset
sad
at that.
and upset about that. Yeah,
Oh, I don't blame you.
because I grew up with the mother and the father, and they're very close friends. Their mom and dad are childhood friends of mine. They were
Mm-hmm.
childhood sweethearts, and they're good people, but they're just of this mind of, oh, let kids be kids. Oh, they don't want to do that. No, make them do it. Like I had them on a thing, like keep it up. They're wonderful parents. Don't get me wrong. They're wonderful parents, but I wish they would just instill a little more religion in them and stuff because how far we fell. Go look at America in the 50s, and when you guys are young, with a moral how things were. Look at it now. That's why I really do believe in the book of Revelation, the end of times. Everything it talks about is happening now if you pay attention.
Oh yeah. In fact, I went and I made sure that I got my blessed candles because they were talking about the 3 days of darkness. And I have that. I have my holy water, my rosaries, my salt, everything. I believe in that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
People can think I'm crazy or whatever. Think
Oh, we
what you
think they're
want.
crazy. I think they're crazy if they don't believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
Because,
laid out. If you really look at the world, look at everything it says in there. It's basically
yes.
happening right now.
The only thing that concerns me with the revelations is if you remember correctly about the one great nation that's going to fall. And my biggest fear,
You broke up, Carol.
I said, if you look at Revelations, they say that a great nation is going to fall. And what scares me is that it's going to be this country.
Yeah, yeah, and the false prophet, the antichrist, all that stuff. But yeah, I'm praying it's not us. But in the end, even we are going to win, and God will triumph in the end. But
Oh,
a
that I
lot of
know.
bad times ahead, and these are them bad times. Imagine going back to 1955 and telling somebody, or imagine someone in 1955 listening to this stream we're doing right now. They would say, these people are lying. They're crazy. That could never happen. If I went back to 1989 and told my father that this would happen, he would never believe it. He would never believe it. Never.
Oh, I know.
So imagine the stuff that we can't even fathom. What's going to happen in 5 years? Are they going to be attaching dog tails on children? Like,
Oh, I'm wondering if they're going to start chipping.
yeah, literally. It's amazing.
It's amazing and it's sad.
It's heartbreaking, really.
It is.
Uh,
And I will.
Emery,
Oh, I
Emery, uh, please forgive me for interrupting, and Miss Carol, we have Miss Bella Rose with her beautiful grandson Isaiah. Good evening, Miss Bella. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Bella.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing good.
I was hearing everything about schools and, the acceptance of all this BS, and it's really sad.
It is. It's very sad.
It's really sad, and this is why I am so glad that my grandkids, my two babies, will never have to experience this bullshit.
Amen.
You know, I'll definitely have them in, I don't care, private school, whatever that looks like, charter school, but they will never experience this. Kids are kids. Leave the kids alone.
Yeah, let them be kids. Like, amazing. Ever hear of the little boy called Desmond is Amazing? This little boy, his mother made him do this when he was about 5 years old. This little boy didn't know, like, it. It blows my mind how they would experiment. These selfish parents, these self-centered people, experiment with these little children like that, and tell them, "You're a girl, you're a boy," and send them to these pride parades. That they're not pride parades; they're degenerate parades. These parades are not just gay people marching dressed in clothes. These are naked people fornicating. Kids are there. Matter of fact, those people should be arrested. They're naked. They're fornicating in front of children. Go watch one of these parades. It's not just a bunch of people who live that lifestyle marching with signs. Oh no, they're naked. They're fornicating with children there.
And they're not just fornicating. I mean, I've been to Pride in San Francisco. I've seen. I was. I was driving through the city in San Francisco that I'm sure you don't know about, but and they had all these people, and they had like these, I don't know what you call gag bags in their partner's face, and they're like walking them like they're dogs.
Wait, a bag? They
Like
had a bag
like
on there?
like a how can I, like a gag bag.
Okay, I know what you like. Pulp Fiction. Okay.
Pulp Fiction, whatever. And it was really bad. And this is what we're seeing. And you drive through cities, and this is what you're seeing. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I would have no problem. I don't mean to call you 1 second. I would have no problem if a bunch of gay people wanted to march on the street fully clothed.
I don't either. And that's and I get that even within my town. And that's fine. Do whatever you want to do. But just leave my family out of it.
Yeah, leave the children out of it and wear clothing, because let's be honest, if one of us went outside naked, you'd get charged with decent exposure, right? So why are they allowed to be naked and fornicate? Why there's children at this thing and it's in public?
Yeah, especially because there's babies. Like, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I've lived a certain lifestyle. I don't care what anybody wants to do. Just leave the babies out of it. All the babies, all the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, lead them to their innocence. You know what I blame too? Technology.
Yeah.
Because it's too accessible. Because
I agree to that, Carol. And we've talked about that many of times.
right.
It's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I see it. I mean, just the way the children are learning. They don't even know basic math anymore. It's like
They can't even tell time, Carol.
They can't even sign their name. I taught my granddaughter script to learn how to sign her name.
You know that?
I mean, I'm sitting here teaching my 3-year-old granddaughter cursive.
That's what I'm talking about.
They don't know, but no, I know, but they don't know. They're so far
behind. They can't even tell time without a digital clock. I know kids that are 14 that can't. That I'll say, is it 1:30? He goes, Uncle, what do you mean? I'm like, 1:30. They can't tell, and I've offered to help. Like, I have one of my cousins, and he's my first cousin. His son's my second cousin. He's about 15. I often, he loves me. We get along. He looks up to me. But I offered to help him. I'm like, listen, I'll teach you. It'll take us maybe a couple days, a half hour, to not even. I'll teach you. No, I don't want to. I much want to play my video game. And it's like, I was like, it's just so frustrating. Like,
reminds me of my nephew.
It's frustrating because it's like, wait a minute. What if there's no digital clock? How are you going to tell time?
Better yet, what happens if the grid goes down and you have to go to a store with cash and somebody can't even make change for you because they don't know what they're doing with a pen and a paper to do basic, simple math?
Yep. And history also. They're not
Yes.
teaching them no history. When I was a little kid, my father had, just like in school, do you remember how they had pictures of all the presidents in a row?
Yes.
Well, when I was little, my father would set up the pictures of the presidents in a row. He would find old books of emperors and put them in a row and stuff. And I would always practice. And I taught my niece that's 17 right now. When she was a baby, I had her at 2 years old. She could remember. She would say the first three presidents for me. And then we got up to about, I think, 16 up to Lincoln, and then she didn't want to do it no more when she's like 10 or whatever. But she used to rattle off the presidents right in a row like I can. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Jackson, Madison, Monroe, Quincy Adams. They can't. These
But then,
kids.
but then didn't your nephews do the same thing?
Huh?
Your nephews, didn't they do the same thing?
When, like I said, my nephews moved to Florida at a point.
No, I know,
And-
but I remember you doing a video and they were like naming off all the presidents.
When they were little, I used to teach them history and make them say the presidents, and I'd film it for a second and stuff like that. Yeah, not no more though. Hey, Cheech, ¿cómo está, paisan? That's a good friend of mine who I've grown up with my whole life.
Emery, please forgive me for interrupting. Can you give us a call out to all our chat family relatives?
Yes, I can. JL, how's it going? Montauk, how's it going over there? Minnie the Moocher, Amber Alert, Legate of the Ninth Legion, Cuban B. What's going on, brother? Who else we got here? Chad, how's it going? Bong F, my proddy little brother Grant. Who else we got? We got Cheech, Frankie in there, and Mike F. And that's the roll call.
Emery and Carol. Miss Bella disappeared.Ss Bella, come back. Come back.
Edwin,
Bella's segment is sponsored by Gerber Baby Foods with her beautiful grandson Isaiah. Come back, Miss Bella, come back.
Yeah, JL, you're right. Some kids can't even tie their shoes. You're right. Remember my dad teaching me when I was little with the bunny ears way to do it.
Edwin, I'm going to drop down into chat because my phone is starting to die. And I have
Oh,
to
God
charge
bless
it.
you, Carol.
Miss Carol,
Yes,
you cannot leave, Miss Carol. I'm sorry.
I have to.
You
I
have
have no choice. My phone is dying.
Okay, Miss Carol, a big kiss on the forehead under federal law and with written permission of your husband. To be clear, may God bless you, and I love you with all my heart and soul. And always come back, Miss Carol, okay?
I will. Love you too, Edwin, and God bless you all.
God bless you, Carol, and your family.
Thank you. Same to you. You too,
And thank
Bella.
you for helping me. Thank you for helping my
Oh,
dog.
stop it.
Good night,
Stop
Carol.
it. It was nothing, Emery. Nothing.
It was a lot, and it meant a lot to me. God bless.
God bless
Emery,
you.
Yes.
Emery and Miss Bella. Carol's segment was sponsored by Carol's Beauty Products, now on sale at the lobby, but no free samples. No free samples. Just some humor. Go ahead, Emery, Miss Bella.
Well, I think I'm going to head off. It's already it's only 10 a.m. here, but I got to head off. But God
Okay.
bless you guys so much.
Yeah, God bless you, and also thank you for helping my dog. God bless you and your family.
Of course.
Miss Bella, thank you for coming, and give a big hug and kiss to Isaiah from old Grandpa Edwin.
I will give a hug from you to Scarlett and Isaiah. Thank you.
Okay, you're always welcome here.
Thank you so much, Edwin.
Have a good night. God bless.
You as well, Emery.
And Marie,
Yeah.
Before we closed
Mm-hmm.
this telecast, because we've been almost 2 hours.
Oh wow, that
I want to get
it went
yeah.
by so
I want to
fast.
get your um. I want to get your opinion on this because I want to create consciousness to everyone to everyone. There are people, and I say with respect, they are men that are having operations to become women, and women that are having operations to change as a man. And I just want to send a message to these people with the utmost respect. Emery,
Yes.
being that you were born in 1979, you had the chance when you were a young kid to see Michael Jackson in his natural state.
Yep.
When Michael Jackson started getting all them operations to change his appearance, in the long run, Michael Jackson, his appearance, to be clear, his appearance, in my opinion, he looked like a monster.
Yes, he did.
He
You're
looked
right.
like a monster, and that affects when a person fools around, when a person fools around with nature, when a person fools around with God's creation. If you are born a man, no matter how many operations that you do, you let's say a man has an operation to become a woman. No matter how many operations that person has, by the law of God, he is a man, and and the body uh, uh, the body keeps on growing in its natural state. And what happens is that them people that do that, their appearance becomes monstrous. What I'm trying to say is, to all the people that men that want to become women and women that want to become men, please do not do that, because first you're fooling around with nature, and you cannot fool around with nature. And check this out, Emery. No matter no matter if a man dresses up as a woman, and the man can have the greatest makeup in the world, and maybe he can fool a few, but a man's arms, a man's legs, a man's body,
Is a man's body.
everyone know. You can notice it in 1 minute.
Yes.
Go ahead, Emery. Go ahead.
No, you're right. You can notice it. I think it's a straight perversion and very sick, demented, and it's all Satan's plan in my book.
Yeah. So,
Did I
so
say the Hail Mary?
okay. Give me 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Give me 5 more minutes, Emery, and then you can do your closing prayer and your closing statements.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'm trying to do is to create consciousness. Uh, to be clear, because I don't want no misinterpretations. I as a I as a Catholic, I as a Catholic, I respect people that are gay. I respect people that are homosexual. I as a uh, I I as a human being, I have no problem. I will not discriminate, and I will not disrespect anyone that's a homosexual. But we must be clear. Under the laws of God, it's a mortal sin. To be clear, and also to change uh, all them operations. all them operations is blasphemia, y infamia. But because we must be clear, we must be clear on the laws of God. Go ahead, Emery. Go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, I won't be mean to homosexuals or nothing, but I have a cousin, a female cousin, who's a lesbian, and I love her to death. But yeah, I think it's a degenerate lifestyle. I don't believe in it. Whatever people want to do behind their closed doors, God bless. I just don't believe in it, and I do think it's a sin.
And Emery, this is very important for everyone. For those people that want to be homosexual, if you're gonna be homosexual or you're gonna be a lesbian, be it in the body that God gave you.
Yeah.
Do not do an operation, because you what they are really doing in reality is destroying their body and their mental brain.
Yeah, well, most of them commit suicide too. Remember
that? Right. That is correct. So to be clear, we respect homosexuality. We respect it. But if you're going to be a homosexual or a lesbian, do it in the body that God gave you. Do not do operations, because that is a horror. To be clear, people that do that, MRE and our chat family, people that go through that procedure, they become a monster. Like look, all the women that take Botox in their faces, we have a lot of Hollywood actresses that were naturally beautiful.
Yep.
And they started doing plastic surgery. They started doing the Botox treatments, and they are now monsters. Monsters.
I'm sorry to laugh, but you're funny.
No, but
no,
I'm talking reality.
I know, it's just the way you said it. You're right, though. You're right.
We must talk clear to the people. At least, Emery, if we can get through to one person, we have done our job.
Well, look, just think of Madonna and Little Kim, two women that were naturally pretty who destroyed themselves with cosmetic surgery.
Right now on Facebook, there's a video of over 10 beautiful actresses that they were naturally beautiful, and they start doing the plastic surgery. Like, I'm going to give an example. I'm 67 years old. I have no hair since 1990. I'm not going to go buy a wig because I would look horrible. I mean, that is horrible. What I'm trying to say is, be yourself. If you, like right now, I'm 67. I have to, my behavior must be of a 67-year-old person.
Yeah.
If I'm 67, I can't be acting like an 18-year-old. And very important, if you are over 60, dress like a 60-year-old. Do not dress like an 18-year-old. And that goes for men and women. Act your age and be your age. There's nothing wrong with being old. I'm 67. I am proud of being 67, and I will never use Botox. I will never have plastic surgery, and I will never buy a wig. Never. Go ahead, Emery.
Yeah, I'm bald also, and I'm not going to get a wig. I would look ridiculous. I take the Bic razor. God took my hair. Hey, what are you going to do? And I would thank you for having me on. I wanted to say the Hail Mary before I leave.
Go ahead, Emery.
Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now or at the hour of our death. Amen.
And Marie, on behalf of my family, I really thank you. I really thank you for helping me, because if it wasn't for you, I would only have one subscriber myself,
Well, that's
and
not true.
Mimo, and Mimo. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, the
And
honest.
like I always say, Marie, I will be with you until God calls me. And when God calls me, I'll come back, and I will always be with you, Marie. Always, I
And
will
say,
always be with you.
well,
You,
same here, Uncle
uh,
Edwin. I admire you, and I hope one day I could be like you.
and I want to be clear, Marie, and I want everyone to hear me. Marie is very dear to my heart, the same as Angel Gotti. Miss Angel Gotti is very dear to my heart,
Yeah, God
and
bless
also Uncle Tindu. Uncle Tindu, very dear to my heart. And to be clear, all of yous are very dear to my heart, but I can't mention you all because we will be here until next year. Marie, before you leave,
you. Yeah.
I want to thank because I thanked him yesterday, but I want to thank him again. I want to thank American Made. He made a short video, and he put my voice in his short video, and it's an excellent video. The video is worth over $1 million in production costs.
He's a good
So
guy.
I thank American Made for thinking about me when he made the video. It's a short video, but it's really nice. It's really nice, and it shows that he's very talented.
Yeah,
So
he
thank you, American Made. Thank you, and may God bless American Made. He's a not because he made the video with me, not because he included me in his video. Uh, he's an exceptional young man, and I sent him a special blessing tonight. And one more thing, Emery, special prayers for Kane Shades. I
Yes.
hope Kane Shades gets well soon, and God bless Rocco.
Yeah.
Emery,
I'll leave with the
Emery,
Lord's prayer for King
Emery,
Jesus.
Emery. Before you leave, please tell, because there's a lot of people that don't understand when you have a dog and a cat, and you are a true dog owner and a true cat owner. The dog is not no more a dog. It's like if it was a human being.
Yes.
I want you briefly, Emery, to to the to orientate the people that are listening to us, that they don't see. A lot of people see dogs as a dog, and a lot of people see cat as just a cat. But once you have a dog and a cat in your family that walks around your house, that greets you, check this out, Emery. My cat Mimo greets me with more love than my own wife.
Cousin Mimo.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the truth. When I come home, Mimo says, Father Edwin, we missed you. My wife says, take out the garbage. Take out the garbage.
So I'll say this about that. Animals have souls, right? And they are just as important as a human being to people like myself and animal lovers. Love them to death. And yeah, people pray for Cane Shades. I'm going to leave now, but I'll say the Lord's Prayer before I leave. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we give those who sinned against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours, and now and forever. Amen. In the name of the Father,
Thank
the Son,
you.
and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Emery. And God bless you, Emery.
God bless you, Uncle Edwin. Love you. I'm out of here. God bless
Okay.
everybody. JL, Brooklyn Bounce, Cuban B, Cheech, Bella Rose, Minnie Mucha, Tammy. God bless you all.
Thank you, Emery. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming. This is your channel. This channel is dedicated to God and the Virgin Mary, and this channel is a positive channel. And this channel never will be gossip, drama, or turmoil. We only say good things about people, even our worst enemies. All our all our so-called, what I'm gonna say now, please save it in your wallets and your purses. If you have an enemy, a so-called enemy, even our enemies, even the people that don't want good for us, they have something good inside their soul. So we have to look for that and never forget that when these people were born, they were innocent babies. But something happened. Something happened during. Something happened. Something happened during the process in their life. They had bad parenting. They did not have. They did not have the correct guidance. And very important, the majority of the people that are in negative things, they don't have God in their hearts. All these channels that dedicate themselves to harassing people on a daily basis, they don't have God in their hearts. Because if they had God, truly, if they had God in their heart, they would have positive channels. Never believe a person that tells you, I'm a Christian, but and then the person's channel is dedicated to harassing others. I mean, that is a contradiction. If I tell you that I believe in God and that I am a Christian, and then I say, so and so is a jerk off, and I'm gonna expose and dox, and I'm gonna go to that person's house and beat him up. Hey, that's not a Christian. That's a devil. That's a demon. That's a demon that's talking to you. No one, no one that truly believes in God. If a person that really believes in God and has good faith in God, their channels will be dedicated to just plain content, not to harassing others. So if you hear a person saying, I'm a Christian, but and then they say, well, I'm gonna dox this guy, I'm gonna dox this person, I'm gonna beat up this woman, I'm gonna slap her, I'm gonna beat her up. That's not a Christian. That's a person that is lost. That is a person that is completely lost, and that person has, believe me, that person has problems here on YouTube, and for sure, that person has outside of YouTube. That person must have a lot of problems. So that is reality. Uh, all I ask, please try to believe in God. Believe in God before you end up in a hospital deathbed. I repeat, please start believing in God before you end up in a hospital, before you end up in prison, or before one of the biggest problems, or before you get cancer. Start believing in God before something bad happens in your life. Because a lot of people say, I don't believe in God. I question the existence of God until they end up in the hospital with a bad sickness, and then they start calling out God. And then they say, "Oh my God, where am I? What happened to me?" Again, I repeat, before you end up in the hospital, before you end up in prison, before someone kills you on the street because you are a nasty person, start believing in God and your whole life will change. If you believe in God from the heart, your whole life will change. Your economic situation also will become better. People that do not believe in God, that are in bad things, the money they get, it disappears in 1 second. The money they get disappears in 1 second. If you do, if you are not in the right path, you can make all the money you want, but it will disappear in 1 second, like an Alka-Seltzer in water. Please take my advice. Just, you don't have to believe me. Just save it in your wallets, save it in your purse, and one day you will say, what Edwin used to say, it is true. And I say it with good faith, because I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube to help others. That's all. I'm not here to make money or nothing like that. Uh, I'm not here to get 1 million subs. I'm not here to check the analytics. I'm not here for that. YouTube has given me the privilege of having a channel, and this is the YouTube channel. So I am going to take advantage of the privilege that YouTube has given me, and I am going to help everyone. Everyone. The good ones, the not so good ones, and I'm also, listen to me carefully, I am also going to help the demons become angels. I will help the demons become angels with the blessing and with the power of God and our Holy Mother, the Virgin Mary. Before I leave, please, this is a personal favor. This is a personal favor that I am asking with the utmost respect, but it's up to you to make the decision. Please support Mr. Vinny Bracco. Please support Mr. Vinny Bracco, Brooklyn guy. This is my opinion, and I will state it again. He has an excellent channel. He is an excellent speaker. And when he tells a life story, he tells it very well, clear. And you can tell by his personality that he is an honest man. And he's a serious man, because he's a very serious, intense gentleman. And I like him a lot. And I think he's a good man. And he has a great potential. He has great potential. Let's support Mr. Vinny Bracco with the utmost respect. Give him a sub. Watch his program and really listen. Many people watch programs and they don't even listen. Listen to what the content creator is saying, and the way the content creator is projecting his personality. Very important. We must be observant. Okay, that is all for tonight. As always, good night, Miss Angel Gotti. A kiss in the forehead. May God bless you. And please always support Miss Angel Gotti. Support my godmother, Miss Angel Gotti. Please support Uncle Tindu. Uncle Tindu is like a brick of gold that his dear mother chopped it up like in little meatballs and just threw it in the world. That way we can all enjoy Uncle Tindu. Uncle Tindu, one of the nicest human beings on YouTube, a big heart, Uncle Tindu. And my nephew is one of the most talented on YouTube. And that is a reality. If Emery would really concentrate on his history lives, he would have over 1 million subs. That is reality. Okay, everyone. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, God bless you all. Please be safe. And never forget this, in life, they are no free samples. So that means, men, no free samples, marry the woman and have your marriage license. Very important. And ladies, get married with a white dress, get married with a white dress with the license, and then you can give your dear husband a piece of cheesecake. Good night, everyone. Good night.